It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI Conway Show. Mo Kelly in for Tim Conway Jr. just on this Friday. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And how wonderful is it to be once again reunited with the Michael Crozier?
Oh, it is so wonderful.
I traced the beginning of my radio career on KFI back to Michael Crozier. You were sitting in the seat when I was starting here, so it's always good to be able to work with you. It's not often that I get the opportunity.
I'm always looking forward to it. I was excited when I heard it was going to be you coming in today, and I feel the same way. You're one of my favorite people ever in this business.
Look, you've been at this place for, 45, 55 years.
Not that far off. I think it'll be 38 this year in December.
38.
Yeah.
Wow. And in radio, that is really saying something, because radio, I always tell people, you haven't worked in radio until you've been fired in radio.
Yeah.
Because you lose
So I guess
jobs.
I've never worked.
Right. Oh, my goodness. Because you can lose a job very quickly in radio. And I say that because that's part of the reason why I'm here right now. No, I'm not fired. I'm just saying.
I thought you meant
I'm saying that. No, radio, things change on a dime. It's like I thought I was going to do my regular time slot from 7 to 10. All of a sudden, I'm doing it from 4 to 7 for Tim Conway Jr. And that's how it works here.
Hey, now.
But it is great to be in this chair, keeping it warm for Tim. He will be back on Monday. But did you know that today is National Pepperoni Pizza Day?
And Pepperoni Pizza Day.
Well, it's not just Pizza Day, but Pepperoni Pizza Day.
Well, so if you don't get pepperoni, it's not your day?
No, it isn't. I guess maybe National Mushrooms and Anchovies is next week. I have no idea.
I hear black olives are awesome on pizza.
Don't be racist out the gate. No, I'm a person, I love pizza, but I have limitations. I cannot stand black olives on any pizza under any circumstances.
I ordered them when I was a child. That's it.
I hope you learned from that.
Well, I'm no longer a child.
Okay. All right. You grew up.
That's it. Yes.
But anyone who knows me will tell you, usually we'll get pizza on Fridays here in the studio when I'm doing my show. It is all that I can do to resist it. It is like crack. There's no resisting pizza for me. The first time I was able to was last week. I'm on this diet. It's low calorie, low sodium, low cholesterol, low taste, low fun diet. Because I'm at that age where, I have to actually watch what I eat because I can't out-exercise my diet. Life is really difficult these days. I don't get to enjoy food like I used to. But the point is, one of my cheat foods is always pizza. And what a celebration for there to be National Pepperoni Pizza Day today.
Welcome to September 20th on the National Day calendar. Let's face it, pizza is universal. Whether thin crust, deep dish, or somewhere in between, pizza brings people together like few other dishes can. From its humble beginnings in Italy to its meteoric rise as a global favorite, National Pizza Day celebrates this iconic dish in all.
Wait, what word was that? Meteor what?
Pizza brings people together like few other dishes can. From its humble beginnings in Italy to its meteoric rise.
Meteoric?
What the heck? That's a totally different kind of pizza.
Meteoric.
It's a totally different kind of pizza, totally different kind of pepperoni.
I didn't know pizza could turn you on like that. Close the door. Give me the pizza.
Its meteoric rise as a global favorite, National Pizza Day celebrates this iconic dish in all its cheesy glory. Pizza has evolved over the years, embracing a multitude of toppings and styles. Whether you're a purist who swears by margarita, or an adventurer topping your slice with pineapple or anchovy.
No. We can stop right there.
No.
Sorry. There's certain things that do not belong on a pizza. Fruit is one of them.
Well, tomato.
Well, that's a vegetable. I'll claim tomato is a vegetable.
For these purposes, all right. I don't mind more. But yes. No sweet. No,
I don't do sweet and savory, and I argue with Fork Reporter all the time. I don't want sweets and meats together.
But the only time I can deal with any kind of sweet on a pizza is like the hot honey. And that's sweet.
That's like a tangy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can deal with that. But if you bring black olives, if you bring pineapple, if you bring anchovies, I take it as a personal affront. You're trying to make a statement. You're trying to offend me. You're saying that you don't like me as a person. Because anyone who knows me, Stephen knows me, he's not going to bring a pizza with black olives to me under no circumstances. Those are fighting words. But just in case you didn't know, it being National Pizza Day or National Pepperoni Pizza Day, it's the same day. There are some specials that you can take advantage of before the night is through. Domino's has mix and match deals with 2 items, including medium 2-topping pizzas. They're going for $7.99 each. Other choices include chicken, loaded tots, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. Wait a minute, wait.
Loaded tots?
Yeah, I've had those. Those are pretty decent. But I don't know how that figures into National Pizza Day.
I just want to get you in the door.
Right. Little Caesars. Current offers include a large 3-meat treat with pepperoni, Italian sausage, and bacon for $8.99. Now, I could get with that. Marco's Pizza. Have you ever had Marco's? I haven't had Marco's.
I don't know of Marco's.
Yeah, I don't know. A triple pepperoni magnifico pizza with both cupped and shredded pepperoni is available at participating locations starting at $14.99. Use the code TRIPLEPEPCA, PEPCA, at marcos.com. Mountain Mike's Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Reward members can get 15% off a large pepperoni today, plus double points and an app-exclusive mystery discount.
What?
Yeah, Newport Beach-based chain also has 2 Korean-flavored wings, sticky koji and kickin' Korean barbecue,
right.
Polynesian flavor, zesty aloha, for a limited time. Papa John's. Current deals include a $7.99 Papa Pairings, which could include a single-topping pizza plus wings, sides, or dessert. Pizza Hut. Current deals include a My Hut box with a 2-topping personal pan pizza and a side for $8.99 and the $7 Deal Lovers menu.
I was just looking at Marco's Pizza. I didn't realize there were that many of those things. I'm seeing SoCal map, and there's a good 15.
Yeah, I haven't had opportunity.
Steph's the fooder. Marco's Pizza, you familiar with it?
Yeah, I think I had it once a while ago, but I can't even remember where it was. I think it was like at a party. That's what I remember. It was pretty good as far as I remember.
All right. That's all I need. Word of mouth.
Yeah.
I'm noticing there are no free pizza deals here. You know, they're giving you the opportunity to spend money, but it's not like...
Not even BOGO?
Look, usually with National Donut Day, what do you get? Like a free donut?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And Krispy Kreme usually gives you a dozen free.
Hello?
So, what's going on?
This is National Day.
Do some of them personal pizzas, man.
I need some free. If it's going to be National Pizza Day, you need to act like it. Okay? Give somebody some free stuff. Round Table Pizza. Large double play pepperoni. Pizzas are available for $21.
That's cheap for a pizza now.
I know, but I'm thinking like, can I get a little bit more of a discount? Just a little bit more Round Table? And I love Round Table growing up. They had one in Torrance when I was going to school in Torrance at Calumet Middle School and South Torrance High School, class of 87, shout out. Yay! But Round Table was the stuff back in the day. $21. Wow. Mm-hmm. When we come back, I'll be joined on the program by Corbin Carson. You might know that there is a bit of a spat, a fight, a pending lawsuit possibly between the city of Huntington Beach and Governor Gavin Newsom. That means the state is all over homelessness and is heating up. We'll have Corbin next to tell you all that's going on.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
The issue of homelessness continues to lead the news, but lately here in California, there has been a developing contentious relationship between Governor Gavin Newsom and various cities around the state where they have diametrically opposed agendas and also strategies. Joining me right now to discuss what's going on between Huntington Beach and Governor Gavin Newsom is KFI's own Corbin Carson. Corbin, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Yeah, you know, Huntington Beach and the state have been at it for years. I've covered a ton of these stories. They argued about the beach access during the pandemic. There was multiple housing fights over affordable housing. Yesterday, the city just sued the state over its recent gender identity law that forbids schools from telling parents if their child has gender identity issues. So this is nothing new. Yesterday, Newsom was announcing a package of, 32 bills that are aimed at addressing state housing and homelessness. And one of the things that they talked about, one of the bills was a bill that would give the state AG more power. They say more incentives as well, but more power to penalize cities that do not comply with the state's regional housing laws. And then, as you would imagine, the governor called out Huntington Beach about it because of these back and forths that they've been at for years. It's all part of the state's goal to build 2.5 million units of housing by 2030. Governor Newsom spoke broadly. He talked about the need for local people to do their job. Here he is talking about the need to get locals to do their job to meet the state's goals.
You've seen this sort of tectonic mind shift away from NIMBYism to YIMBYism, this shift around accountability. We continue to struggle with accountability. We continue to struggle with transparency. I give you Exhibit A, Huntington Beach, California. That is a city that's performative in terms of their approach to addressing the crisis of affordability, not just in their city, but in our state. There is no doubt the state of mind that I think connects more Californians is a recognition that the original sin in this state is affordability and impacts more people in more ways on more days, and that's the issue of cost of housing. And it's that imbalance of supply and demand.
And one of the bills that was signed that directly helps with the penalties is Senate Bill 1037. It'll give the AG the ability to seek those civil penalties. They can be a minimum of $10,000 per month, and they can go up to $50,000 per month. That starts January 1st of this coming year, and that's for each violated and its violation, and it's calculated from the date of the violation. Here's Newsom explaining how this will specifically go after Huntington Beach.
You will soon be able to ask the folks in Huntington Beach if the law I'm about to sign is not impactful. They continue to thumb their nose at the state of California, the people of this great state. They continue to lose decision after decision after decision. They abuse the process. They abuse the law. And now we will enforce aggressive fines with the law that I will be signing today. Enough is enough. This is serious stuff, and it requires serious people.
But, I'll leave it to other folks to decide who's telling the truth, because if you listen to either side, they're both saying essentially they're winning in court. They're the ones that have been winning this argument.
But we can't talk about this in a vacuum. I'm not going to get into it, but just in the news this week, we know that Norwalk, the city of Norwalk, was pushing back against Governor Newsom. My question is there a tipping point where enough cities may provide a united front against the governor that it becomes politically dangerous or inconvenient for Governor Gavin Newsom to move forward with this?
It's hard to tell on whether or not there is a consensus from cities across the state against this. There has been a bunch of pushback because the numbers, the regional housing numbers, they're very aggressive. So it is difficult for a lot of cities that have complained about being able to just, as Huntington Beach would put it, urbanize their city and just shove these large amounts of housing into their cities. But remember, all the cities have to do is zone for them, and then they don't have to build them. Builders can come in and decide if they want to build them. But here is Huntington Beach City Attorney Michael Gates responding to Governor Newsom, and they're not backing down either.
There is no data to support that additional high-density housing crammed down into cities like Huntington Beach produces affordable housing. He's punishing Huntington Beach. He's punishing cities like Huntington Beach. If he was really interested in solving the homeless issue or creating more housing, he could locate or find that $24 billion he lost last year that he committed to homelessness or solving that problem, and he could build his own housing. He could probably, or very likely, shelter every single homeless person in the state of California with that $24 billion that he lost.
And then as far as the city being fined, as you can imagine, a city that doesn't, is happy to go to court with the state. Here's what he thinks about the fines.
The city's going to keep fighting these high-density housing mandates because we believe that the law and the facts are going to be on our side. We have a hearing in the Ninth Circuit Federal Court coming up here in October. We're making great progress in these lawsuits, and we're not afraid of new legislation. I mean, at the end of the day, these new fines don't even apply to this case because according to the state and according to the court, when they filed this lawsuit against Huntington Beach back in March of 2023, that's when the city was essentially, quote, out of compliance, quote, as the state has said. So the new laws don't apply retroactively. So he can go up there and have all the press conferences and issue all the press releases he wants, but we're not intimidated, we're not dissuaded or discouraged.
Yeah, so it'll be essentially, Mo, up to voters to decide if this is something they agree with as far as it concerns Governor Newsom, or if it's something that, they just consider too much.
Okay, Corbin, before I let you go, let me take the politics out of this and let's just apply the eyeball test. Regardless of what may be done in Sacramento, regardless of the lawsuits which may or may not happen and the fines against cities, if I use the eyeball test, it does not seem as if in my small world, and I know this is anecdotal, that we're actually making a dent in this homelessness issue, be it more shelters, be it more transitional housing, be it programs for those who may be dealing with substance abuse. From what I see, it doesn't seem like we're making a dent. If we're taking people off street, we have more people coming on the street, in the next go round. So do we get the sense that there's actually any progress being made?
It's hard to tell. This is a situation to where I can see merits to the argument of a city like Huntington Beach and them not wanting to urbanize their city. I can see the arguments from the state. They're saying essentially, what else should we do? Should we do nothing? The wheels of government move slowly. So getting some of these homeless initiatives off the ground has been, it's been rocky to say the least. And then at the same time, the state would say, and the governor would say that, again, this is something that they had to start something. They had to start asking for housing to be built somewhere, because for too long, as the governor said earlier, this has been an issue where things are getting more expensive and there's not enough supply for the people who are working to keep the state going. So it will be it will be interesting to see again how this plays out.
Well, I'm quite sure it's not going to play out anytime soon. Homelessness is not going to go anywhere, and politics and acrimony is not going to go anywhere. KFI's Corbin Carson. Corbin, thank you so much for staying on the story, and I'm quite sure we'll check in on this again sometime in the future.
Appreciate it, sir.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Mo Kelly in for Tim Conway Jr., KFI AM 640. We are live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we're getting Elex Michaelson on the line. He'll be with us in just a second. I was looking forward to this conversation more than anything because Elex and I, we are both political nerds, and we love to dig deep into the subterranean depths of these issues and look at it from more like an analysis standpoint, not advocacy, but analysis of what might happen. What does the history suggest will happen? Because we are living through some extraordinary moments right now. And for all the prognostication, for all the predictions that people want to make, I try to remind folks, be it state politics, be it national politics, you just don't know what is going to happen. Now, we may have people that we're rooting for. We may have legislation that we want to have passed, but we don't know. And I get messages from you all the time on social media, be it on Instagram, @LaterWithMoKelly, @Mr. Mo Kelly, or you hit me on Facebook, @Mr. Mo Kelly, and you tell me Trump 2024, or you're going to tell me that, oh, no, Harris is going to win in a landslide. And I try to remind everyone, you honestly don't know. Because a couple of months ago, no one could have predicted that Joe Biden was going to drop out. No one could have predicted that there was going to be not one, but two assassination attempts on former President Donald Trump. No one could have predicted any of these events. No one knew that we were going to go down this road. Oh, we knew that it was going to be a contentious election. We knew that we were at a place and time in America where the rhetoric was so heated that anything could have happened. And unfortunately, a lot of these things have been happening and should not have been happening. But I say to you, as I say to everyone else, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen. Because tomorrow something ridiculous or unforeseen is going to happen, and it's going to change everything. We didn't know that the interest rates were going to drop. Honestly, we didn't know. We didn't know how that was going to impact the stock market. We didn't know how that was going to impact the economic forecast. And that changes everything. That changes how certain swath of voters may view this race. And I think if there's anything that we can be sure of, it's going to be tight. It's going to come down to a few states just like most elections. It's going to come down to a few states, probably the usual suspects. Come down to Georgia, come down to Michigan, come down to North Carolina, come down to maybe Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, because that is, I will say, evidence of how very divided we are. And although we can't agree on anything, we can agree that this race is probably very, very tight. I don't care what you may see in the news. I don't know what you think is a game changer. And I think we got him right now. Elex Michaelson, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Mo. How are you? Thank you so much.
Look, I'm glad that you could be with us. I was saying before you got on, we like to analyze politics, and I try to caution people against trying to predict what is going to happen, because I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. Would you agree?
No. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and there's no way to know what's going to happen, especially if you look at the recent polls in terms of the presidential race. I mean, almost all of the key swing states are tied. You know, we've seen that a lot can change in a day in politics,
yes.
And we still have, 46, 45 days left until the election, although, some states started voting today. And in California, we'll be voting in a few weeks. So, what we call election day is a misnomer. It's really an election month or election season.
I get the sense that everything is on the table for the Democrats, but the Democrats have the most to lose. In other words, the momentum, at least 2 or 3 months ago, was with former President Trump becoming president again. If you look at the senatorial map, the Democrats are defending more seats than they could possibly pick up. So it's more likely than not that they would lose the Senate, and they already do not have control of the House. Is that do you have a similar read of the map?
Yeah, I mean, if you had to sort of bet, that you would bet that the Republicans will get control of the Senate just based off of the map and which seats they're defending. They're defending seats in very Trumpy states, and it's going to be a challenge for them just because of the numbers. The House is an open question. I would say probably slight advantage for the Democrats to control the House. I mean, it's really close right now. There's only a 2-vote margin. The House, though, almost certainly will come down to California. Even though we're sort of out of the action in terms of a competitive Senate race and a competitive presidential race, some of these House races for people that are listening right now that live in Southern California are probably going to determine control of the House. There's about 6 or 7 districts that people are watching from around the country, which is why you're seeing so much money spent on those districts. And that'll probably determine it. And because that will probably take so long to count, the most likely scenario is we don't know who's controlling the House probably for several weeks after the election.
I get the sense that that's part of the reason why former President Trump has been spending more time here in California. More money has been spent here in California. For that reason, if I remember correctly, I don't think former President Trump spent any time trying to fundraise or make a dent in California politics.
I think he's fundraised here before. What was different when he was here last week is that he did a press conference here, including with local reporters, including me out there. That he hadn't done, and he certainly didn't do that in 2020 in terms of a campaign-related press conference. Kamala Harris has not done a campaign-related press conference, but she is expected to campaign fundraise in L.A. next Sunday. She'll be here for an afternoon event, and that'll be the first time that she's been back in California or back in the L.A. region since she got the Democratic nomination.
This is L.A., this is California, Hollywood, glitz and glamour. Much has been made of celebrity endorsements, especially this campaign cycle with the likes of Taylor Swift and the entertainment heft that she brings with her. From where you sit, do these endorsements mean anything at all?
Usually no, but Taylor Swift is the biggest star on the planet. She has an extraordinary network of especially young women that love her. And we've seen, since she encouraged people to register to vote, hundreds of thousands of people registered to vote. The margins in these swing states is so small that could make a difference. Most celebrities don't have that much of an impact. I would say that George Clooney's op-ed encouraging Joe Biden to get out of the race may have done some damage to Joe Biden and led to Harris getting in the race. And that is an example of a celebrity with enough gravitas that they're able to have a little bit of pull.
Locally, before we go to this break, is there anything that you're looking at which is either remarkable or something which has caught your eye? We have a new LA City Council president, but there's always controversy surrounding the LA City Council. Is there anything that you are watching closely locally?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the most interesting thing is this fight over criminal justice reform. And in California, we've seen this seesaw back and forth. Some folks feel like in the 90s, we locked too many people up and it led to an era of mass incarceration. Other people think that we've gone too far back to the left. And what's going to happen with George Gascon and his race, and also Prop 36, which is a reformation of Prop 47, which George Gascon wrote, and this battle that's happening where it appears that Democratic voters are ready to move on from a lot of these Democratic policies, but maybe not all of the leaders that espouse them. That, to me, is really interesting, this crime, homelessness, and how that goes beyond some of the traditional partisan talking points.
My guest right now is Elex Michaelson. Elex, can you hang around for one more segment because I want to find out what's coming up tonight? Good. Absolutely. We're going to talk about the issue is next here on the Conway Show.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
We got a few more minutes with Elex Michaelson, the host of The Issue Is, which is coming up tonight. Elex, real quick, what is coming up tonight?
Tonight, speaking of that battle over criminal justice reform, which we were talking about before the break, we sit down with George Gascon, the LA County District Attorney, for a rare one-on-one, talking about his priority, his challenges, why he changed on certain policies, what a potential second term would look like. So that's an interesting conversation. We showcase a conversation that I had actually a few months ago, which we were never able to air, which makes a lot of sense now, with Doug Emhoff, the second gentleman of the United States, to get to know him and his fight against anti-Semitism, his fight for women's sports, his and his role as supporting Kamala Harris. And we're out with the LA Rams as they donate a football field to Nickerson Gardens in Watts, and talk with this safety who was an incredible young guy named Quentin Lake about his community activism and sort of using their platform for good. So all that coming up this week on The Issue Is.
George Gascon, he seemingly did not do a lot of media in the previous months. Should I read into that because he's granting more interviews, he's more visible, that there may be more concern that he may not be reelected?
Well, he should be concerned. I mean, if you look at all the recent polls, they seem to indicate that Nathan Hochman is up. Nathan Hochman is up in terms of fundraising. And if you look at the mood of people, I mean, this week we had this poll came out from PPIC that was about Prop 36, which is the effort to reform Prop 47. He wrote Prop 47. Showed that 71% of Californians want to reform Prop 47, including 63% of Democrats, even though Governor Newsom and almost every single statewide leader in Sacramento is saying vote no on 36. So that gives you an indication that the mood of the public may be turning against a lot of these reforms that Gascon has been at the forefront of, which puts him in a tough place politically.
I know you have a hard out in just a moment, so let me just ask you this. Tomorrow is the first game in the Big Ten opener for your USC Trojans.
Yes,
How are you feeling about them at this moment?
I'm excited. We're starting it at the Big House. What a place to start this whole thing off. I was worried about the team going into this season. I'm feeling good. I feel like we finally have a balanced attack. I love the defensive coordinator that Lincoln Riley brought in, and I say fight on to the Trojans and all the Trojan fans that are listening.
Well, Elex Michaelson, I appreciate all that you do, and I've had the opportunity to work with you and around you over the years, and I thank you for bringing such a balanced approach and level-headed insight to all that you do.
Love you, Mo. Thank you so much. Always great to be on with you, and even though we don't have Conway here, a ding-dong to everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
Have a great night. It's the Tim Conway Jr. Show. I am Mo Kelly in for Tim. Just for today, Tim will be back on Monday. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. When we come back at the top of the hour, I'm really big on digital wallets. I love being able to have many or most of my documents available either in the cloud or on my phone, so I could have them at a moment's notice, or if there's an emergency, I can still access them. A couple weeks ago, I added my California driver's license to my digital wallet on my Pixel phone. And I was laughing at my Apple cohorts like Stefan, I think Michael Crozier, all the people have these Apple iPhones. Well, now they've caught up. You can now add your California driver's license or state ID to your digital wallet now, and we'll tell you about that at the top of the hour. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.